In today's video, I am going to be breaking down different screen and roll strategies that you can use with your team. So definitely, if you run the 5-out offense or even a 4-out offense, make sure to check out these options. Really quickly, if you want to get the complete guide to the 5-out offense, make sure to go check out the link down in the description below. Okay, so first off, when you make a regular screen, so for example, when player 1 sets a screen on player 2, right? When this happens, if player 2 uses player 1 as a screen, it all comes down to his defender and what his defender is doing. So for example, in a screen and roll, if player 2 was to go underneath of player 1, now player 2 would be looking to take that 3, mainly because he's created that much distance between himself and that man. On the flip side, if player 2's man follows around that screen, then player 2 blue needs to cut in because now that man is stuck behind him and he has a wide open lane to the basket. If player 2 gets up to a point where he's not allowing player 2 blue to use that screen, player 2 now needs to deny the screen and cut back because now player 2 red is out of position. Those are the basics behind the screen. Now, when it comes to off-ball screens, it's very similar, and we as coaches, we need to be able to teach our players how to read our defense and how to react to what the defense is doing. So, for example, if player 5 was going over top of this screen, even though there's this massive gap between 5 and 3, and let's say player 4 was going underneath, we should actually have player 4 pop to the wing. And because player 5 was going underneath, we need player 5 blue to cut his man off and then attack that rim. This will give player 1 multiple different options to pass to. Now, something that you can actually run very successfully are staggered screens. And one of the easiest plays that you can run with a staggered screen is by having player 1 pass over to player 3, and then player 1 would then set a screen over here, roughly on the elbow, and then player 2 would set the screen down on player 4. The idea here now is it's a staggered screen. So player 4 doesn't just sprint up top and hope that his man gets stuck on both of these screens, because that's not always the case. If player 4 starts running and player 4 red is cheating and he's already sprinting ahead trying to get ahead of this pass, he may not be that far ahead. But let's say he's far enough ahead, cheating to a point where he is ahead of the shoulders of player 4. Player 4 can then cut back door, and this can be an easy pass to player 4. Again, we want to read and react to our screens and to our defenders on how we are playing. There's not just this either. So we also, as screeners, have to read what our defenders are doing. So for example, if player 4 is on the outsider edge right here, player 2 switches off. Well, now there's no defenders on this side right here of player 2, which means that he needs to slip, and this could be a pass to player 2 also. So we need to be able to read and react to these situations. Now, if player 4 was switched and let's say they're chasing over top of the screen, player 2 gets out of the way. Now player 4, because his man was following him, can now cut down. Now he'll have an option. He'll be able to get that layup. If there was a switch and this man still continued to chase over, player 1 can pop, and now this could be a 3-point shot. Off of a simple staggered screen, this man gives us about 7 options. This man gives us 1 initial option, and then this man gives us 2, maybe 3 initial options right off the staggered screen alone. This is why screens are so deadly in basketball. This is why there's so many coaches that wish that there wasn't screens in younger basketball, because it gives too many options for smarter teams to run against. There's also the back screen, and this is actually a very useful screen. So for example, player 5 would set a back screen on player 3. When this happens, when player 3 cuts to the rim, this could be an easy pass to player 3. This would then obviously end up with a layup. However, if they switch, player 5 is still setting the screen. He could literally seal this man behind him, wait for player 3 to get out of the way, and then he cuts to the rim, and this would be an easy layup. Especially with a 5-on-3, that's a mismatch. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Make sure to go check out the complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below.